You know, a lot of people say that Japan is one of the safest countries in the world, and in a lot of regards, it definitely does fall into that category. We have some of the lowest crime rates in the world, one of the cleanest places in the world as well, and if any of you have ever been to Japan or seen pictures or videos of Japan, then you'll know just how pristine and perfect it looks on the surface. But even the safest country in the world is not safe from its fair share of absolute crazies. So let's talk about one of those crazy stories that happened recently in the anime mecca, weeb mecca itself, Akihabara. Woman arrested after slashing 4 men in a train at Tokyo's Akihabara station. What the hell? Police arrested a woman who injured 4 passengers with a knife inside a train that had stopped at Tokyo's Akihabara station late Wednesday. Police rushed to the scene at around 11 p.m. after a report that a woman was brandishing a knife on the train. 4 men were stabbed in the back and arms and taken to a hospital. Police arrested the attacker, identified only as a woman in her 20s, on suspicion of attempted murder. No other details, including the condition of the injured and a motive for the attack, were available, which is really scary, especially for me, considering the fact that I actually went to Akihabara the day after all of this happened, and I didn't know about it at all until after I came back from Akihabara, and my friend was like, yo, did you hear about the stabbing that was happening at Akihabara station? And God, you should have seen the look on my face, dog. I went pale. Look, if you've been following my channel for the past week or so, you'll know that Japan hasn't been in the best start when it comes to the brand new year. I mean, we had the earthquake that happened on the first day, we had the incident at Haneda Airport on the second day, and now we have a crazy woman in Akihabara going around stabbing motherfuckers for apparently reasons that are unknown to us so far. In recent news, there have been several high-profile cases involving random knife attacks and arson on subways, and there is growing concern about homemade guns and explosives. Yes, that is actually true. I believe it was Halloween a year ago, or was it 2 years ago? There was a dude that was dressed up as the Joker from Batman who went around and set fire to an entire train carriage in the middle of Tokyo because I guess he just wanted to watch the world burn. Jokes aside, a lot of people got injured, a lot of people got traumatized. It cost JR, the Japan Railway System, a lot of money, and it was just a shit show all over. And in the case with the homemade guns and explosives, you know, that obviously ties back to the very, very infamous case of our former prime minister getting assassinated in broad daylight by a dude who made his own shotgun at home. So yeah, suffice it to say, as the Japan Today article here says, there have been several high-profile cases of these kinds of attacks happening. And again, it's really, you know, just unfortunate because, you know, Japan does have that whole view of being, you know, a very safe country to visit, you know, just a great time all around, you know, people are respectful, all that kind of stuff. But obviously, no country is perfect, and there are going to be cases like this happening. But this final paragraph here is quite interesting. Train operators in major cities have been stepping up safety measures, including installing security cameras on train cars and conducting more frequent drills among station staff. See, that new piece of information for me really shocked me, especially the thing with installing security cameras on train cars. I thought they were already doing that. And it's kind of fucking shocking that they haven't done that as of yet, considering the fact that, again, Japan, you know, has this thing of, like, you know, women-only cars and a lot of molestation and sexual abuse happening in broad daylight on trains. Like, you know, that whole thing that you see in like lots of doujinshis and like, you know, and prawn and stuff like that, where, you know, women are getting felt up in cars and all that kind of stuff. And men are also, you know, being victim to this kind of stuff as well. Like, this kind of crime that happens on trains is quite prominent, and usually ends up being one of the biggest cases that, you know, for that week or for that month in Japan. So the fact that they haven't installed security cameras on trains is kind of fucking crazy to me. Like, you would think that they would install cameras on trains for security purposes, like, as soon as possible, considering the amount of, like, you know, crimes that happen on trains. And yet, for some reason, they haven't done that, and I'm going to guess the reason why they haven't done that is because Japan is very particular when it comes to, like, privacy of the individual. Like, you know, going around in English-speaking countries like America or Australia or Europe, usually you'll have no problems filming in public, you know, especially for things like YouTube videos. But Japan is really, really particular with this kind of stuff, where they don't really like, even if you watch Japanese TV shows, for instance, a lot of the times they're actually blurring the faces out of people who are just like in the background and in the public. And this is due to a really weird reason of, like, you know, security measures when it comes to like personal identification and stuff like that on certain media sources that perhaps they didn't give the permission to show. Like, you know, they're like, can you please blur out my face if I'm in the background of this, because I didn't give you exclusive permission to show my face. Which, look, I get it. You know, if you're a Japanese TV show, or, you know, you're a YouTuber in Japan like I am, you know, I think it is a common etiquette and courtesy to fulfill the wishes of those who just happen to be in the background. I totally get that. But when it comes to installing security cameras on trains, I think it's a matter of security for everybody. Because again, this happens, a lot of these kinds of crimes happen on places like trains in Japan. So it's not so much a matter of like, we're putting security cameras in the train carriages because we want to fucking snoop around and see what kind of weird shit you're up to. No, it's more so to, like, you know, prevent molestation, to prevent, or even to prevent crazy incidents like this from happening. Because the fact that there was no security camera in the train when this particular incident happened just leaves a lot of things in the dark. Like, you can only use testimonies from people who were actually in the train, or testimonies from the victims, or perhaps, you know, getting a confession from the culprit. Whereas if you had a security camera, you know exactly what the hell happened. And also, again, it prevents future crimes from happening and future victims from appearing on trains through things like molestation. For example, like in Japan, obviously, you know, there are lots and lots of incidences, whether they are actually, you know, notified to the authorities or not, of, you know, men and or women feeling up other men and or women in very inappropriate ways that fall under sexual abuse. But there have also been some cases in the past where women have taken advantage of the fact that these kinds of things are so common and have falsely accused innocent men for feeling them up or being sexually inappropriate to them on the trains, and these innocent people are getting like rushed into these kinds of situations when they had nothing to do with it. All of this and so much more would be alleviated almost immediately if they just simply put in some security cameras on a train carriage. And the fact that JR hasn't done that still for whatever reason is just kind of mind-blowing to me. So yeah, luckily though, you know, it seems like as of right now, nobody has been like killed in this incident, so thank God for that. Hopefully the 4 dudes who were involved in this insano attack recover fine, and hopefully the woman gets punished accordingly and, you know, properly and stuff like that. Look, I don't know what was up in her head, you know, maybe she was, you know, struggling from life, struggling from whatever, but it's never an excuse to go around and just start randomly stabbing and slashing people on a train. You don't need me to tell you that. It should be fucking common sense. So yeah, really scary. Please be careful when you're in Japan, and just remember that when you do come and visit Japan, it may seem like the safest country on the earth, and in a lot of ways it is, but there are also some crazies hiding in the crowd, and you never know when they're gonna lash out. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to talk about this little story just very quickly. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Should they install security cameras in trains for security purposes? Why not? I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on it all. And thanks for watching. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smack my face right here, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep making big channel number go bigger. Over here next to my head, there's a couple more videos you can check out if you enjoyed this one. Links to my social media, as well as my Patreon to support me directly. And Nonsense, we got some sick clothes. Check it out at nonsense.jp, links in the description, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.